To every woman who has been broken, this message is for you. To every woman who has cried in silence, God sees you. To every woman who has been betrayed, abandoned, or mistreated, God's love still covers you. No matter what you have been through, you are not forgotten. No matter how many times your heart has been shattered, you are still worthy. No matter how much pain you carry, you are still loved. Life has tried to break you, but you are still standing. The world may have overlooked you, but God has never left your side. When you felt alone in the darkness, He was your light. When you were weak, He carried you. God's love is not conditional. God's love is not based on your past. God's love is not limited by your mistakes. God's love is eternal, unshaken, and unwavering. You may have been wounded, but you are not defeated. You may have been abandoned, but you are not alone. You may have been lied to, but you are not worthless. You may have been judged, but you are still precious. God's love is bigger than your pain. God's grace is deeper than your wounds. Some people may have walked away from you. Some people may have made you feel like you weren't enough. But hear me now. You are more than enough. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are created with purpose. You are stronger than you think. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are a warrior. And most importantly, you are a daughter of the King. God did not create you to stay broken. God did not bring you this far to leave you. He has a plan for your life, a plan to heal you, a plan to restore you, a plan to bring you peace, a plan to bring you joy. You may not see it yet, but trust in Him. You may not understand it now, but believe in Him. He is working behind the scenes for your good. You may be asking, why did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through this pain? Why did they leave me? Why did they hurt me? I don't have all the answers, but I do know this. God is still in control. He can take your pain and turn it into power. He can take your wounds and turn them into wisdom. He can take your tears and turn them into testimony. He can take your scars and turn them into strength. God never wastes a single tear. Every tear you've cried has been counted. Every prayer you've whispered has been heard. Every time you felt forgotten, He was right there. He has been holding you in the palm of His hands. He has been working on your behalf. He has been preparing something greater for you. You may feel broken now, but you will rise. You may feel weak now, but you will soar. You may feel lost now, but you will find your way. Because God is not finished with you yet. This pain you feel is not your final chapter. This struggle you face is not your final story. This heartbreak you carry is not your identity. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your mistakes. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than what they said about you. You are more than your scars. You are chosen. You are loved beyond measure. You are seen. You are valued. You are cherished. And no matter how broken you may feel, God's love covers you. He will not leave you where you are. He will not let you stay in despair. He will lift you up. He will restore your heart. He will bring beauty from the ashes. The enemy wants you to believe that you are defeated, that you are forgotten, that you are unworthy. But the devil is a liar. You are victorious in Christ. You are redeemed. You are healed. You are set free. You have a future filled with hope. God has something greater ahead for you. Hold your head up high. Walk in confidence. Walk in faith. Walk in power. You are not just a survivor. You are an overcomer. You are not just getting by. You are thriving. Your past does not define you. God does. Your mistakes do not limit you. God's grace is greater. Your heartbreak does not weaken you. It strengthens you. You are becoming who God created you to be. So let go of the pain. Release the guilt. Walk away from the shame. Step into His grace. Step into His love. Step into your healing. This is your time to rise. This is your time to shine. This is your time to walk in victory. Because God's love covers you. You don't have to be perfect to be loved by God. You don't have to have it all together to be chosen by Him. He loves you right now. He loves you in your brokenness. He loves you in your healing. He loves you in your process. And He will never stop loving you. His arms are open wide. His heart is for you. His grace is sufficient. No matter how many times life has knocked you down, get back up. No matter how many times people have hurt you, keep moving forward. No matter how hard it gets, hold on to hope. Because you are not alone. Because you are loved. Because you are covered. Let God heal you. Let God strengthen you. Let God use you for His glory. Your story is not over. Your best days are still ahead. Your breakthrough is coming. Your joy is coming. Your peace is coming. Your restoration is coming. Trust in Him. Believe in His promises. Hold on to His word. And never forget, God's love covers women who have been broken. His love is your strength. His love is your healing. His love is your protection. His love is your hope. His love is your victory. You are not broken. You are becoming whole. You are not abandoned. You are deeply loved. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. Walk boldly in His love. Live fearlessly in His grace. Shine brightly in His purpose. Because you, my sister, are covered. Because you, my sister, are strong. Because you, my sister, are loved. And nothing can change that. God's love is your foundation. When the world rejects you, He embraces you. When people let you down, He lifts you up. When you feel like giving up, He strengthens you. When you feel unworthy, He reminds you that you are priceless. You were never a mistake. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You are divinely created with purpose. You are called for something greater. The pain you have endured is not in vain. The tears you have cried have not gone unnoticed. The sleepless nights, the broken dreams, God saw it all. And He was right there with you. He held you when no one else did. He comforted you when your heart was aching. He whispered, "You are mine." He promised, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." And He has kept His promise. Even now, He is working all things for your good. You may have been through storms, but you will not drown. You may have walked through fire, but you will not be burned. You may have been broken, but you will not be destroyed. Because God is your protector. Because God is your healer. Because God is your restorer. You are rising from the ashes. You are stepping into your purpose. You are walking into your destiny. This is your comeback story. The enemy tried to break you, but he failed. The enemy tried to silence you, but you still have a voice. The enemy tried to take your joy, but God is restoring it. The enemy tried to make you feel worthless, but God calls you priceless. You are a child of the Most High. You carry His light. You walk in His favor. You shine with His grace. No matter what life throws your way, remember, God's love covers you. His love is unshakable. His love is unstoppable. His love is unbreakable. And His love will never fail you. God's love is deeper than the ocean. His grace is wider than the sky. His mercy is renewed every morning. No mistake can separate you from His love. No past can define your future in Him. No heartbreak is beyond His healing. He collects every tear you've cried. He knows every silent prayer you've whispered. He understands your pain, even when no one else does. And He is working on your behalf. There is beauty in your brokenness. There is strength in your scars. There is power in your testimony. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. What others used to harm you, God is using to elevate you. The pain was not your end, it was your preparation. The struggle was not to break you, it was to build you. The rejection was not a setback, it was a redirection. God is positioning you for something greater. God is preparing you for His promises. You don't have to carry this burden alone. You don't have to fight this battle by yourself. God is fighting for you. God is defending you. God is making a way where there was no way. He is opening doors no man can shut. He is restoring what was stolen. He is healing what was broken. He is bringing light into your darkness. He is turning mourning into dancing. You are not defined by your struggles. You are not defined by your pain. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by His love. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are called for more. You are destined for greatness. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No enemy can stop what God has for you. It's time to let go of the shame. It's time to release the hurt. It's time to step into the freedom God has for you. You are more than a conqueror. You are victorious through Christ. You are stepping into your new season. You are stepping into divine favor. You are stepping into your breakthrough. God is making all things new in your life. God is writing a new chapter for you. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't stop believing. Keep trusting. Keep praying. Keep pressing forward. Your best days are ahead of you. Your story is far from over. You are not alone. You are deeply loved. And no matter what happens, God's love will always cover you. His love will always carry you. His love will always sustain you. Walk boldly in that truth. Walk confidently in His promises. Walk in victory because you are His. You are not forgotten. God has engraved your name on His hands. You are not abandoned. He walks beside you every step of the way. You are not alone. His presence surrounds you. Even when you feel weak, His strength is made perfect in you. Even when you feel lost, His light will guide you. Even when you feel unworthy, He calls you His beloved. You were created with a purpose. You were chosen before you were even born. You were formed by His hands, loved beyond measure. You were never a mistake. Your life is intentional. Every hardship has prepared you for something greater. Every setback was a setup for a comeback. Every closed door was God's redirection to something better. The enemy thought he had you, but God had a plan all along. The devil tried to break you, but God built you stronger. The pain didn't destroy you, it strengthened you. The storm didn't defeat you, it shaped you. The fire didn't consume you, it refined you. You are still standing because God is not finished with you. You are still here because your purpose is not yet fulfilled. Rise up, daughter of the King. Stand firm in your faith. Walk boldly in your calling. Refuse to settle for anything less than God's best. Refuse to believe the lies of the enemy. Refuse to let fear hold you back. You are a warrior. You are an overcomer. You are victorious in Christ. You are a light in the darkness. God is preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. God is making rivers in the desert just for you. God is opening doors that no man can shut. He is restoring what was lost. He is redeeming what was stolen. He is healing what was broken. Your past does not define you. God does. Your mistakes do not limit you. God's grace is greater. Your struggles do not break you. They make you stronger. You are walking into a new season, a season of healing, a season of restoration, a season of blessings, a season of breakthrough. You will no longer cry over what you lost. You will no longer feel the weight of your past. You will no longer live in fear of tomorrow. God is lifting you higher. God is setting your feet on solid ground. God is filling your life with His love. Do not fear, for He is with you. Do not be dismayed, for He is your God. He will strengthen you and uphold you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter how dark the night, morning will come. No matter how heavy the burden, He will carry you. No matter how broken you feel, He will restore you. His love is your refuge. His arms are your shelter. His presence is your peace. God's love covers every wound. God's love wipes away every tear. God's love removes every fear. His love is constant. His love is unchanging. His love is everlasting. So hold your head up high. Walk in faith, not fear. Live in confidence, not doubt. Trust in Him, for He will never fail you. The best is yet to come. Your story is not over. Your journey is just beginning. You are stepping into greater things. You are stepping into divine favor. You are stepping into a season of joy. You are stepping into a life filled with purpose. Walk boldly, knowing that you are covered. Walk fearlessly, knowing that you are loved. Walk in peace, knowing that God is in control. And always remember, no matter where you are, no matter what you've been through, no matter how broken you feel, God's love will always cover you. You are not forgotten. God has called you by name. You are not forsaken. His presence is with you always. You are not unloved. He loves you with an everlasting love. When the world turns away, He turns toward you. When others reject you, He accepts you. When life feels overwhelming, He gives you peace. When your heart is heavy, He lifts your burdens. When you feel weak, He fills you with strength. There is nothing too broken for God to heal. There is no wound too deep for God to restore. Your scars tell a story of survival. Your pain is the birthplace of your strength. Your trials are shaping you for your testimony. What the enemy meant for evil, God is using for your good. What was taken from you, God will restore. What was broken in you, God will make whole. What seemed like an ending was just a new beginning. You are stepping into a season of renewal. You are stepping into a season of favor. You are stepping into God's divine plan. Let go of the weight of your past. Release the pain that no longer serves you. Step forward in faith, knowing God is leading you. You are not alone. He walks beside you. You are not lost. He is guiding your steps. You are not defeated. Victory is yours in Christ. You are stronger than you know. You are braver than you believe. You are more powerful than your fears. And you are more loved than you can imagine. God is your protector. God is your provider. God is your healer. God is your defender. When you feel like you can't go on, He will carry you. When you feel unworthy, He reminds you that you are chosen. When you feel broken, He makes you whole.